Tonight on Sports Desk, Canes baseball clashes with Florida at the Light in a battle amongst rivals. Our Inside Pitch crew previews the series.
Plus, 5 Canes hoops players suit up for the final time in tomorrow's regular season finale. Cal Friedman takes you through forward Sam Wardenberg's journey as a Hurricane.
And later on, both tennis teams have aced their way into the top 25. We'll set up the rest of the season.
All that and more,
Sports Desk starts
right now.
I'm Ed Reed, and you're watching Sports Desk.
Hi, I'm Jim Kelly, former UM guy. You're watching Sports Desk.
What's up? I'm DJ Williams, and y'all watching Sports Desk.
Hello and welcome to Sports Desk. I'm Daryl Barnes.
And I'm Ember Giles. Daryl, a huge series for Canes baseball this weekend. Miami is off to their best start since 2013 and will face a huge test this weekend versus the Gators.
Yeah, and a fun weekend coming up at the Light. But before we talk about this, let's jump back to last weekend to take a look at some highlights from Miami's Sunday finale versus Harvard. After suffering their first loss of the season on Friday, Hurricanes baseball was forced to take a rubber game against the Harvard Crimson. Could the Canes take the series? Let's check out the highlights from Sunday. And we're going to start things off here, Miami versus Harvard. Jake Garland, There, going to get the K. How about later on in the game? He's going to get another K. But check this out, the Canes doing work on both sides. Jacob Burke now, he's at bat and bam! He's going to bomb one to left field for the home run, but the Canes aren't done yet. That's just the first. He's going to go. He's going to celebrate with his teammates, but check this one out. Now it's CJ Kafis' turn. He said, boom! Right down to the center of field, a little bit to the left, but bam, right over the fence. That's number 2. Wait for it. We're not done yet, Embrick. Come on now. This time, it's going to be the catcher getting in on the action. Carlos Perez, his home run over now to left field. That's another bomb, and that's extending the Canes lead. They're going off, and they're all celebrating. They're having a good time. Now we got pitcher JP Gates going to come in, finish out the game, and the Canes are going to go and win 9-1 in the season finale.
With a huge series this weekend versus Florida, Gino DiMare has made some changes to the rotation, but the offense has been clicking on all cylinders. Our Inside Pitch crew is here to get you ready for the weekend series. Guys?
Hello and welcome to Inside Pitch. I'm your host Regina Potenza here with analyst Andrew Klein. The pitching lineup for this weekend series versus UF has just been released. We have Carson Palmquist tonight, Carson Lincoln Saturday, and Jake Garland on Sunday. All 3 of them have had a fantastic season so far. What do you think of this order, and do you think the Canes will have to reach deep into their bullpen for this series?
Well, hopefully not. That's not the goal. Obviously, you want to use your 3 best starting pitchers, and that's what Gino DiMare is doing. The 3 guys have been fantastic all season long so far. 4 total earned runs between the 3 in 30 1/3 innings pitched. They've all had their shining moments on the mound. Look for them to keep it up this weekend against UF.
And the Canes offense has been red hot this season, scoring in the double digits in 6 of the 8 games. What makes the offense so consistent?
Well, one of the big things has been their confidence coming into these couple of games. Obviously, weaker opponents against Towson and Harvard so far for Miami, but the Hurricanes have been able to be very confident at the plate. They're putting balls in play. They're not striking out. They're doing everything they have to do right now to win games. That's all you really need to do. Keep it simple for Miami.
Jacob Burke has been an absolute pillar in the Canes lineup these past few games. The second-year freshman transfer from southeastern Louisiana has been playing incredible. What makes his transition between a junior college and an ACC team so successful?
Well, he's just a really talented hitter. He's able to put balls in play however he can, find holes in the defense. Let's take a look at some of the footage here from him so far. This one, an absolute moonshot home run to left field, just crushes that pitch. This one, next one later against Harvard. Doesn't try and do too much. He just bloops it into center field over the second baseman's head. Nothing the defense can do at all. Scores a run for the Hurricanes. And this one against FAU just finds that crease in the defense, pokes it through into left field. He's been fantastic for the Hurricanes so far. Looking to keep it up this weekend.
Now, the matchup this weekend may be the most important game of the season for both Canes and for the Gators. I mean, this is a rivalry that runs deep, has spanned decades, and is sure to have an incredibly rowdy and passionate crowd. I know I'll be there. But what is the importance of this series game?
Well, it's a big series for Miami because it's their first real test. It's a ranked opponent for the first time this year. Florida coming in at 14 in the country compared to Miami at number 22. So the Hurricanes are obviously facing a team that, they haven't really fared too well against. Since 2016, Miami is just 5-13. So that Florida squad can be a haunted hill for Miami to climb, but I think they should be able to come out successful this weekend at Mark Life Field.
Oh yes, Andrew, it's going to be a really important game for both teams. As you said before, Miami's looking to hang on to their ranking, but the game is starting right now at 7 p.m. at Mark Light Field.
Thanks, guys. The Canes are 7-1 on the season and just took the field for the first of a 3-game set against the number 14 Florida Gators. Reporter Ethan Gainey is live to get you ready for the weekend series versus the rival Gators. Ethan, what can you tell us?
Daryl, I'm standing here outside Mark Light Field where fans have piled inside for this much-awaited rivalry matchup between the number 14 Florida Gators and the number 22 Miami Hurricanes. Now, the last time these two teams faced off was the start of last season, and Miami took that series. But what we're looking forward to tonight is a much-awaited pitching matchup between left-handed ace Carson Palmquist for the Miami Hurricanes, and for the Gators, left-handed ace, also a left-hander, in Hunter Barco. Now, the Canes are going to look to shake up the baseball world with the win tonight, but I think I'm going to look to shake up my night with a Mark Light shake heading inside there. So reporting live for UMTV from Mark Light Field, I'm Ethan Gainey.
After many months of negotiation, Major League Baseball will not start the 2022 season on time. A failure to come to terms on a new collective bargaining agreement means the first 2 series will be canceled. The last time the MLB was forced to miss games because of a work stoppage was in 1994 when Bud Selig was commissioner.
And staying with baseball, Marlins CEO Derek Jeter resigns after 4.5 years with the club. During Jeter's tenure, the Fish had the 4th worst record in the MLB. In a statement on Monday, the MLB Hall of Famer said, quote, "Through hard work, trust, and accountability, we transformed every aspect of the franchise, reshaping the workforce and developing a long-term strategic plan for success." GM Kim Ng is likely to take on a bigger role in the organization following Jeter's departure.
Coming up on Sports Desk, Canes hoops are playing well and getting ready for the ACC tournament. The Hurricane Hangtime crew will bring you up to date after the break. Stay with us.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Canes hoops went up to Chestnut Hill on Wednesday and left with a major milestone. The squad beat Boston College on the road, and all eyes were on Coach Larinaga as the final buzzer went off. This win marks Coach L's 221st, breaking the program record for wins by a men's basketball coach at UM. Larinaga broke the 55-year-old record after 11 seasons as the Canes head coach. After the game, Coach was all smiles, but he told the press that he can't take all the credit for this accomplishment.
My assistant coaches do a great job, and the players do a great job. When you have good players, good coaches, you have the opportunity to win a lot of games, and so we've been very, very fortunate.
With Wednesday's win, Coach L and the Canes moved up to 21-9 on the season. The game also secured Miami a 2-round bye in next week's ACC tournament. But before then, the Canes will head up to Syracuse to play the Orange on their senior night tomorrow at 1 p.m.
The month of March offers chances for new success and Cinderella runs in college hoops. The men have one more game before the postseason, while the women face a top 5 opponent tonight. Our Hurricane Hangtime crew is here with more. Guys?
It's Friday, which means another edition of Hurricane Hang Time. I'm your host, Charlie Hill, alongside analysts Max Keller and Wyatt Kopelman. Guys, the men's and women's teams both went on the road and had something to prove and did just that. I mean, Coach L picking up 221 wins that we mentioned earlier. And also, we had 2 players on the men's team who had some accomplishments too. Tell us about it, Wyatt.
Well, it's certainly been a turnaround season for Jim Larinaga in his 11th year in Coral Gables. Very much something to smile about when it comes to turning the page onto the ACC tournament just next week in Brooklyn. Miami's had a lot of individual catalysts, and that was most recently exemplified in the Hurricanes' win against Boston College. Miami got off to a blazing start, was able to hold off the Eagles for long enough and hold on to that big victory up in Chestnut Hill. Isaiah Wong collected his 8th 20-point performance of the season, and not to mention Charlie Moore also picking up his program record, 88 assists in ACC play. So, Charlie, the Hurricanes have a lot of floor generals. They have a lot of guys who they can turn to, and that's going to be problematic coming into Syracuse, Central New York, maybe in some trouble come Saturday afternoon.
So seeing how those 2 played and the rest of the team, what can we expect ahead of the ACC tournament?
Well, it's going to be an interesting series for the Hurricanes coming up in this March, Charlie, because the Hurricanes are actually in a double bye. Unlike prior years where the Hurricanes only had 5 true road wins over the last 3 seasons, now they come in to their final matchup in Central New York with 9, potentially 10 going into Brooklyn. They have a lot of opportunity to believe that they're going to be playing teams like Notre Dame, Florida State, and even Duke, which has been the only ranked ACC team for this season. They have a lot of momentum going ahead going forward, and what could be an NCAA tournament come a couple of weeks from now.
Sounds great. So, Max, the women's team went up to Greensboro and took care of business against Duke. Tell us what happened. Break it down.
Yeah, Charlie, it was a great win for the Hurricanes last night against Duke. Teamwork made the dream work as 4 Hurricanes scored 10 or more points to get the comeback win against Duke that might just certify their spot in the NCAA tournament.
So, after this win, where exactly does this put the women's team?
Yeah, Charlie, they have to play a tough Louisville team tonight. They played last month. Miami lost by a margin of 3 points. I believe that offensive rebounding was the key in that game. Miami did not do that well last night against Duke. They're going to have to make that adjustment today if they want to pull off the upset.
That sounds great, guys. I love March, so excited. But that's all the time we have today. Sending it back to you guys.
New Zealand native Sam Wardenberg joined Miami from the other side of the world when he was just 16. The Hurricanes forward then rose from a gray shirt to a consistent starter, and now with many lessons learned and games under his belt, Wardenberg has left his mark on Canes hoops. Cal, story.
Tomorrow at Syracuse, 5 Hurricanes will suit up for their final regular season games at the U. But few players will graduate with more career games than forward Sam Wardenberg, who spent over 7 years and has played over 100 games at UM. Coming from New Zealand, the Kiwi felt right at home with the culture in Miami, even after an 18-hour flight.
Another thing that I loved so much about Miami was how multicultural it is. And back home in New Zealand, especially in Auckland, where I'm from as well, we just have so many different cultures and people from different parts of the world that, like, when I came here, you kind of had that feeling as well.
Wardenberg's first season in Miami started back in 2017 and has seen many ups and downs throughout his time with the program.
Obviously, freshman year, we enjoyed a lot of success, and that was just a super fun environment to be a part of. Thankfully now, we've got a healthy team and we're seeing success. We know how good we can be and how good we are.
Just before the 2020 season, Wardenberg suffered a season-ending foot injury, but was still involved with basketball, using the time from off the court to write game reports for Miami.
Really just like watching film, putting hours into looking at the game of basketball. I'm kind of happy for it now because I feel like I'm a much better player because of it.
And after a full year of recovery, Wardenberg's IQ has flashed in a career season. Wardenberg is averaging career bests in points, field goal percentage, and blocks.
So much of that is just instinctive and reading the defense. And when you have a guy that got that high of an IQ, it's just a tremendous advantage. And there's not a lot of guys that I've coached that would do it at that high of a level.
Wardenberg will suit up for his 112th game tomorrow against the Orange, but Miami will always hold a place in his heart.
It's gonna be a tough one because this is a special place. It's a home away from home for me. Worked on 2 master's degrees. Completely thankful to the University of Miami and the city in itself.
Reporting for UMTV, I'm Cal Friedman.
You know, Emrick, my favorite part of that, I just love Sam's accent.
I know, it's super fun to watch. And Canes basketball, having a great season, looking to get some wins going into ACC tournament and into the March Madness tournament.
Well, you know, they're already turning heads, already surprised some people. They were predicted to be 12th in the ACC this year. Obviously, they've done a lot better than that.
Yeah, I've been excited to watch this year, Daryl.
But anyways, after the break, we'll take you to Naz Nassim, our host with the most,
so he can take you behind the post. Stay with us. But first, it is time for some trivia. Canes baseball will play Florida for the 43rd consecutive season. But what year did Florida first play Miami? Is it A, 1940, B, 1945, C, 1952, or D, 1954? The answer when we return.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Guys, another huge week for sports, women's basketball and baseball.
Oh, baseball looks packed tonight. I don't think we're going to get in after the game, or after the show, unfortunately.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try, though.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Got to get those milkshakes, man. Welcome back. If you said A, you are correct. The Gators defeated the Canes 18-13 on April 9th, 1940. Miami leads the all-time series with 132 wins, 128 losses, and 1 tie.
With their win at Boston College, Miami men's basketball moved one step closer to March Madness. Meanwhile, Canes track and field ran circles around the competition, and some potential pro Canes start their NFL Combine journey. Naz Nassim is here to keep you up to date on this week's edition of Behind the Post.
Ladies and gentlemen, after the longest week of my life, we made it. I have no clever quips, no wonderful word tricks. All I can say is thank God it's Friday, and since it's the best day, I gotta drop this content my way. And what a way to end your week by watching the most electrifying segment on TV with me, Naz Nassim, your host of the most. So when you see me on screen, you know what time it is. We gotta go behind the post. The Canes have done it again on the road. Miami pulled out a win against Boston College on Wednesday to get their 20th win of the season. Isaiah Wong finished with 27 points to lead the Canes to victory. But this game also made history. With Coach L now earning 221 wins, he now holds the record for all-time wins in program history, and he is going to keep going. We are proud of you, Coach. Congratulations. And also, the Canes locked up a double bye heading into the ACC tournament, and things are lining up for the Canes to be well-rested and well-prepared to make a run into greatness this March. And we have to show some big love to the track stars who came home with 11 medals. I repeat, 11 medals, son. Props to Isaiah Holmes for taking home the high jump and the long jump, and Mariah Oliveira for taking home the 400 meter. And to all the athletes who participated in this wonderful event, the Canes family is so proud of you. And finally, it's NFL Combine time. And you already know we have Canes in prime position to make it to the next level. Good luck to De'Ara King, Charleston Rambo, and every other Hurricane at this event. Give it everything you got, because we believe in you. Well, that's all the time I have today. You know what to do. Always remember, be blessed. Don't stress, because you know where to find me every Friday right here on SportsDesk. I'm Naz Nassim.
Canes tennis has gotten off to a great start this season. The women's team is up to number 14 in the country after wins over Georgia Tech and Clemson. And the men's squad just moved up into the top 25 after 4 wins over the last 2 weeks, with 2 of those wins coming against FAU and Liberty last weekend. The teams look to continue serving up wins, taking on Wake Forest today and NC State on Sunday.
One men's tennis player is the first from his family to take the clay, and armed with 7 different languages and the odds he's overcame. Our very own reporter Erica Jones has a story on Bojan Jankulovski.
When you hear tennis, you probably think of rackets, courts, and neon yellow balls. But that is not how it started for Miami's 5th-year tennis star, Bojan Jankulovski.
I didn't have rackets, I didn't have tennis balls, none of that. So I
I first started to play to hit. I was hitting like stones and rocks with a broom in my backyard.
And his backyard was not in the United States. Bojan grew up in North Macedonia, a small country in Southeast Europe.
Where I'm from, tennis is not a big sport at all. And in my family, no one has ever played.
But nothing would stop him from getting his hands on a tennis racket. And once he did not put it down. By the time he was 13, he was competing internationally. His teammates are inspired by his dedication to overcome whatever it took to follow his dreams.
I always look at him, as somebody that I just want to follow, because I knew that by doing that, I was gonna succeed as well.
We know Bojan can serve and swing, but there is so much more to him that we don't get to see on the court. The 23-year-old can talk to anyone in 7 different languages.
So that would be Macedonian, that would be Serbian, Croatian, Bosnian, Montenegrin, Bulgarian, and a bit of Russian. And English, obviously. I'm still struggling with that one.
And anyone who's ever met him will tell you he is quite the character. His way of interacting with people almost always makes him the center of attention.
Well, I think that he doesn't have a filter at all. If he wants to say something, he's gonna say it.
But with all the best intentions.
I just know that he's gonna be so smiley, so loud. Good morning, guapa. And then he's a great guy. Like, he's gonna make you happy, like, no matter what.
There is no one day that he's not, with this funny attitude.
So he has the athleticism and personality. But there's one more special talent that all his friends rave about.
See him dancing is the best thing that you can ever see in your life. That is the best quality that he has, I think.
While he is a man of many talents, where he moves his feet best is on the tennis court. Come see him in his next home match this Sunday at 1 p.m. For UMTV, I'm Erica Jones.
And some things on the court are just bigger than sports. Sunday's lineup for the UM women's tennis team featured 6 athletes from 6 different countries, but they all stood united for one cause. The team wore a patch on their jerseys shaped like Ukraine in support of Ukrainian teammate Diana Kodin. Just days after Russia invaded her home country, Kodin, a third-year sophomore, helped the Canes beat the Clemson Tigers 6-1. The squad won the doubles point and all but one of the singles matchups. And after the match, UM Athletics tweeted about the jersey patch, saying, "We're all here for UD."
Still ahead on Sports Desk, many high school athletes get the chance to go near and far on a college journey of a lifetime. But for a small number, that never comes around. We'll tell you more after the break.
Here are AARP top tips on caregiver preparedness during coronavirus. Form a team that can help with caregiving tasks. Take an inventory of essential supplies in your loved one's home. Make a list of the care recipient's medications. Schedule regular calls to fight isolation. Finally, take care of yourself too. Follow the Centers for Disease Control's guidelines for coronavirus safety. For more caregiving tips, go to aarp.org/caregiving.
The transition from high school to college can bring people challenges, excitement, and a lot of unknown, but some University of Miami students don't have to leave their love for sports at home. Reporter Caroline McDonald has the story.
For most high school athletes, there will come a time where the sport that they love and have played since elementary school comes to an end. According to Varsity Sports, only 7% of high school athletes move on and play sports at the collegiate level. However, no one really talks about the transitional period for the other 93%.
I see a lot of people struggling with it, a lot of kids struggling with it. I think that, one, it's changing their sense of identity. 2, they feel a lack of purpose that I think that the sport provided for them. And I think that that can be really, really difficult.
One way student athletes make these challenges less hard to face: participating in recreational and intramural sports.
It can provide the sense of team that they had, the competitiveness, the drive, a little bit of the purpose. It can just help ease the transition.
The University of Miami Rec and IM program offer over 40 different sports, so athletes can get another chance on the field.
I mean, a lot of us came playing high school soccer, and then coming in, we're not playing club or anything. And to find these group of guys over here and be playing with them, it's nice to find that companionship again with sports.
It definitely means a lot, especially growing up playing the game so much, almost 7 days a week, my whole life. It means a lot to still be able to play here, have fun with a bunch of my friends.
The development and competitiveness of the IM sports program has not gone unnoticed by UM student athletes and has become something they love about UMiami.
I definitely think that's a very important part, especially young athletes, being able to almost give up the dream, but still be able to partake in the sport they've played their whole life.
Canes track just wrapped up ACCs, and Jacia Sears left her mark on the event, winning the 60-meter dash for Miami. Ashley Rome caught up with the junior sprinter on this week's edition of Athlete of the Week.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another edition of Athlete of the Week. I am here with Jacia Sears. We are very excited to have you today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
What was it like competing in ACCs this past weekend, and what was it like winning first place for the 60-meter dash?
It was so amazing. I give all glory to God. I was so thankful for that whole experience, from stepping onto the track, warming up, to the last event that I competed in. Yes, it was just an amazing experience, a great accomplishment for sure.
What was it like being on the podium? I'm just curious, what emotions were you feeling?
Honestly, I processed things very slowly, so it didn't really hit me, because we went on the podium right after we ran the race, so it didn't really hit me till a few minutes after the podium, because I was very happy to be on the podium, but the excitement, the rush didn't really hit me until after. But it was great, yeah.
What has it been like being on the track team in Miami?
Oh, the track team is so nice. Everyone is so nice on the team. Everyone's funny, and it's a big old family. Everyone's very supportive as well, the coaches, the staff, and just the team members. When you go to the meet, you hear people cheering for each other. You feel the support, and yeah, it's a confidence builder too.
Okay, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for talking with me today, Jacia. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for interviewing me.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
The Memphis Grizzlies have been one of the NBA's greatest stories this season, and third-year point guard Ja Morant is having an unbelievable year and scored a career-high 52 points earlier this week. But one shot this week, just before the half, was all over social media. Let's take a look in this week's edition of Play of the Day. And now Morant's going to get this full court inbound. He's going to throw it up, and he's going to get it, and it's going to go in before the buzzer. Let's take another look. Ja Morant just going to throw that one up as that would go in, and what a fantastic shot there. Let's take one last look. Morant's going to throw it up. The Grizz would go on to win 118-105 over the Spurs.
Canes women's basketball danced their way into Greensboro, looking to pick up a win against Duke in the second round of the ACC tournament. Let's take a look at what went down prior to tip-off. Check this out. Sidi Baba, she's going to go hit the little dance move with the freshman, Jalea Williams. Jalea Williams just was freshman all ACC. But check this out. Before a game, how about this for half court pre-game shooting? From half court, Kelsey Marshall said, oh, let me do it to him. Let me do it to him. Hit a little dance move, Zembrick. I don't see you doing that. And then Paula Fry-Lee Ruiz, she's going to go and hit one. I mean, Embrick looks like they were having some fun before the game, and it definitely translated into the game.
No, they're definitely having some fun. I don't know that I can dance or hit half-court shots like that, but we all got to try sometimes, man.
I don't think we have to try. I think we can definitely leave it to the women. You know, they're doing their thing out here, trying to make it into the ACC or the NCAA March Madness tournament.
Yeah, definitely. But that's all the time, unfortunately, we have for SportsDesk this week. Join us back here next week, same time, same place.
Till then, have a great day.